Hey, welcome to the Founders Table. I'm Stefan with Drew. We've been enjoying this podcast, for the past, I don't know how many episodes we're in, but, we've gotten past Thanksgiving. We launched a business called Elevate Real Estate Group. We've launched some other things throughout the year as well, and we've worked with a lot of businesses throughout the process. And so it's been fun to have conversations about building businesses, leading businesses. We both built businesses in the past. We came together, wanted to build something new, put our own touches on things. And we just thought it'd be fun to walk through some of the key milestones that we've hit throughout the year, looking back at some of the difficulties, some of the fun times, some of the hard times, the times you got to compartmentalize in your mind. And so we thought instead of doing a case study, maybe with somebody that is a company we're working with, we should just start with ourselves.
We're going to spill the beans on ourselves. So yeah. I like it. Elevate Real Estate Group, we are a group. If you don't understand like how the real estate things work, we are a group under Alpha Realty, and it's a really cool setup for us. I think it's kind of like a baby step where you don't have to necessarily be like a full-fledged brokerage, but you get to be an agency underneath that. And then the Alpha guys are really awesome. We've had Aaron on the show. Yep. I'm sure we'll get Adam one day on the show too, one of the other co-founders of it. But really cool setup there. Then we also have Rise Marketing, which does a lot of the video production and marketing. We help other companies. I work with a number of companies to help do consulting, marketing, different things along those lines. So
CRMs, back-end stuff as well.
We do like our own custom type of CRM for clients, and then we kind of tie that into how their business works. And I think where a lot of marketing companies like focus on like, oh, I'm just going to do social media marketing, or I'm going to do, digital marketing or print marketing, whatever that looks like. We start at the CRM, and then we go look at the business and like, what does the business need to succeed? Yeah. And then we build the CRM around what the business needs. We've even worked with some kind of, companies that are doing, a wrap shop that does something that's really cool. So like you have full production scale, like a lot of different things. That's not just a CRM where you would think it's like sales, where I have a salesperson, that's the only thing it's for. Yeah. We've kind of blended it in where it does a whole bunch of, it's software, CRM, marketing, website development, and they're just all of it's kind of unified into one.
And the thing I really enjoy about this partnership is that Elevate gets to utilize all those things right up front. And it's kind of like our business with Elevate Real Estate Group when it comes to, not when it comes to the real estate side, but when it comes to the gaining market share and building clients, bringing clients in on the marketing side for our agents. Yeah. We get to be kind of the Frankenstein for Rise.
Like, and I love that.
We'll test things out. If things work, then
you've done real estate so long, and some of the other agents have done it for a long time. So it's like the nuts and bolts of being a great agent. Like that's
the real estate agent side.
You guys got that like all day long, and like that's the cool part because it's like you guys are so good at that I know that's handled. And in a lot of businesses, when you're doing a startup thing, you're learning
building
that.
The plane as you're flying.
Yeah, but it's like you guys have that on lockdown. So now for me, it literally is what you said. It's what wild harebrained ideas can we come up with to create sales and things like that. And how many times do I come up to you and be like, I got a great idea. Can I do this? And you say every time,
maybe, I guess.
You say, no, that's illegal. We can't do that.
No, that is true. And that's the thing about real estate that I think it works. The mentality and the structure of a real estate team is similar to so many other industries because in real estate, you are the agent, and a big key part of a real estate team is to market and sell people's properties, right?
Yep.
Business properties, commercial, residential, whatever that is. But a whole other side to the business is the agents have to market and sell themselves. Mm-hmm. And so as an agent is so focused on the actual nuts and bolts of real estate, and that you can lean into that so much that you're not getting out to market yourself. Yeah. And so one thing we love about the group is that we want our agents to be able to fully focus in on that. And then the group can come behind them and push them in certain ways, different niches to market themselves. It's literally like running multiple businesses at the same time, just within the real estate industry.
It's so fun for my ADD because it's like there's always something going on somewhere to do it. And
I mean, but we talk about it all the time. When you own a business, like a plumbing business or whatever, you're spending all your time actually in the work that you're not finding new jobs. You're not finding new clients. Yep. And so how can we use that same structure to do that? And the thing I love about Rise is and I don't want to give away too much, but I think when you bring the basic principles and you melt them all down, and what you find is we have just multiple circles. We call them opportunities. And our goal is to get people that are on the furthermost circle that have never heard about us, our brand or anything, is to help them to actually see the brand. So the first goal in anything is just to get exposure to the brand. So somebody that's never heard of us, they can actually see us. And once they see us, our goal is to have a conversation with them.
Yep.
And once we have a conversation, our goal is to build trust. And then you bring them further and further down into the opportunities all the way to close.
Yep.
And that mentality, that structure works for any business.
Oh, every single one of them. And I think a lot of people get so stuck in the weeds with like, this is my job, this is what we got to do. Being able to say, all right, the mornings are going to be for hunting and going and finding new, and then the afternoons will be doing your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might not work in certain industries, but the theory behind it is, and whether you have a salesperson that you divert over to go do that, or whether it's I'm going to go get my jobs done in the morning and in the afternoon we're going to go work on X, Y, or Z. So
yeah. So with Elevate specifically, let's talk through some of the goals that we had for the year, where we're at. We fully probably officially launched maybe November-ish of last year.
Yeah.
We'd been in real estate plenty of years before that, but the group itself. So what were some of the things when we first launched that you kind of had a goal of seeing, and has it played out to that effect?
I think I had some higher goals earlier in the year. I thought we were going to do more volume, but when I'm making this up because I don't know the exact date, but when they started politicizing the Fed rates and everything that was going on, let's say April, May, in that time frame, I think we quickly knew, everything was trajecting up. It wasn't easy. I mean, this has been one of the hardest real estate years, and pick a person to look at. They'll say 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever that is. But the company and us and our brand, everything was trajecting up from that standpoint. When that hit, it was like we just hit a wall. Like all the deals that could have been just kind of paused. All of a sudden, everybody started getting kind of wiggly on like, the interest rates are high. This is that.
Sellers, buyers, everybody's feeling that.
So we pivoted at that point, and that's when I kind of felt it coming. But when it did happen, I was like, crap, we've got to do something different. And we spent a bunch of money on print ads and kind of doing some old school guerrilla marketing, kind of hand-to-hand combat.
We're on the door knocking. We're going out.
Yep. And what I told the guys is we're going to go plant a bunch of seeds, and that's all you can do in some situations. And, I think we had this real high goal. Like I wanted to see us I wanted $30 million of gross sales of houses the first year. And we could have done it. I mean, I think we were on the trajectory out of Q1 and Q2 that we were going that path for sure. That whole, into Q2, Q3 died, Q4's picked back up.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting over that now and the interest rates are coming down. So for us, it was kind of a great time. Like I think old Drew, younger Drew would have been like freaking out, like trying to force that round hole through a square peg, trying to get the sales. And instead it's like, all right, let's just eat crap for a little bit. Let's throw some stuff on credit cards. Let's just pay out of, let's just invest some money in as owners into the business. Let's get us through this time frame. Let's go invest heavily. And I think now we're starting to our CRM's starting to kick. And again, it's a new company.
And here's the other part of that is you're right. Like we, instead of going out and buying or paying a subscription for a lot of this stuff, we wanted to build something that would work extremely well for us and that we could actually help other businesses as well with.
Yeah.
And so it's been a heavy investment on that end as well, just on all the back end stuff.
I think if you look at like a macro level of the company, we had a goal of 30 million or whatever. Then I don't remember exactly what we wrote down, but in that ballpark, it's pivoted, it's lower, which is fine. We're still year one of our business, and we're probably right at break even, which is amazing, I think, for a startup business.
Especially for how much you invest in things.
We both invested a ton. But if you back up, like when we first started this, like I think something that I'm going to say it before you say it, but I know you were going to say it. Like we threw a lot of money at a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think you were like, holy cow, this is a lot. But on the same token, I've done enough businesses that it's like, if you do the right things and you put the right blocks in place and you do the stuff that we talk about, you're going to find success. And we have. I think it's been tremendously successful. If you turned it off right now and said, we're done, like this would be a success in my book. We've learned a bunch. We've helped a lot of people out. Our clients love us. Our reviews are great. Our employees that we've really worked with and developed, they've been great. Yeah. Like everything's going the right way. It's phenomenal. I would love to talk about like that investment on the front end.
We were probably spending $3,000 plus a month just on the software.
Basic software. Couple different pieces of basic software.
Yeah. Just to kind of get the ball moving.
Yep.
And then outside of that we were building everything out. So all of our marketing, print material, signage, we were probably 30,000 burn the first couple months.
Oh, first 2 weeks. I mean, when we went and bought camera, we wanted to invest heavily in video.
Think of that stuff.
Yeah, like we went in and we spent $20,000 on camera gear the first week.
Yeah.
And and it's been great. I hate to be that way. Like it's one of those things that it's like you kind of, I think like I always poke at people to find a niche, right? Especially salesmen in those roles. Like what's your niche and where are you going to go hunt? Where are you going to go find people? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And we do that. And I think for us, when we were looking at this, like especially in real estate, right? Like there's so many how saturated is that market? We've talked about
700 agents in our
Yeah. So it's like, how do you differentiate with that? Like it's freaking impossible. Like it's so hard. I've owned marketing companies in the past. We've had videographers, things like that. And I knew the value of that. And I know that when you're dealing with an industry with such a low barrier to entry, if you can get yourself above it, whatever that looks like, a lot of times you can really set yourself apart right out of the gate. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, in our industry specifically, there are so many people that have a license, but they don't have a business. They don't view it as a business. They view it as either a part-time gig, or they're going to make a couple sales so they can pay off some things or buy whatever and then kind of move on. Yep. We've really built a structure that I think maybe only, I don't know how many in Springfield, 6 or 7 true real estate businesses are doing something similar. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so it's shifted my mentality for sure. I know our agent's mentality, but it's no longer like, hey, we're going to go help sell something and live off of that here and there. Mm-hmm. It's like we're reinvesting everything back into the business because we truly see it as something sustainable, not something that's just going to ride a wave.
Yeah. And I think the riding wave analogy is really good because I think that's what happens. Like when the market's good, all these realtors come out of the woodwork. When the market's bad, they go back to doing whatever it is they can do to make money, pivoting from there, which I get, right? Like that's part of life.
Opportunity, you do it, jump in.
Yeah. But I think for our clients and our people, like we are true professional agents that work every single day. There's not, I'm here this week, gone next. Like I'm going to be here every day in, day out doing real estate things. And it's so hard. Like when you watch some of these other agents, like they don't buy, like you got to like commit, right?
Well, dude, you've got, like we said earlier, as a real estate agent, you've got to market yourself, your business, and to get in front of people. You've got to market the property. You've got to have the right strategy. You've got to have the business people, the financial people in your corner, to have lenders, all these different hats that you're wearing. Yeah. You're a negotiator. And our goal is we build a system that takes on a large portion of that role to where our agents can be killer agents.
Yep. And that's what we said from the beginning. We want to build a system, and we're going to try to get the leads. We're going to try to get all the sales. We're going to make you look super duper pro agent wise through our videography and the different things. And then we're going to put that out there, get clients and leads coming in, and then be able to give those to the agents to focus on what they're really good at. So they don't have to focus all the time on whatever it may be.
And we've always talked about how we're not in it for views. Like there are a lot of different ways to gain clients. Yep. And some agents, and props to them. I mean, if it works for your business, that's perfect. But they'll dance on tables and jump into bathtubs for marketing, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they get 2,800 views, and that's great. And 2,743 of them are other agents.
Exactly.
And the other ones are bankers. And
for us, it's really about providing the type of content in the same light that we're going to provide to our clients and provide to their homes when we're marketing them. We're going to be extremely professional. We're going to have the right equipment. We're going to do the right things throughout. Like we We don't do photos on our phones. We don't walk through houses to do quick videos. We make sure that our full-time videographer is there with the right equipment to make sure everything is presented in the right light.
Yeah.
So,
and that's our
same
model.
mentality too.
Yeah, and that's our model. That's how we've done it. And I mean, and a lot of people can't invest a full-time videographer to go do that, and they can't make it pencil. And I get that as a single agent. As a team and a group, stuff like that, like that's the direction we wanted to go. We could have easily taken, let's say $100,000 a year of marketing budget for that type of stuff and pivoted that over to real estate and Zillow ads. And you would have got for $100,000 marketing, you would have got it there too. You know what I mean? So it's not just, you got to do this. This is the recipe for success. And I think that's something to understand with business in general. You could skin the cat any different way. It's how do you want to do it? And I think for us, like, I love the video side. I love I knew you wanted to be super pro. I think in this industry, that's what, sets the others apart. Like you said, there's 6 or 8 people, like groups that are really top-notch teams. I think that's where we wanted to be. Now, you could easily say, if you wanted to, okay, we want to do the opposite of the super pro and have the fun, bubbly, da-da-da-da-da. Well, we could go create a path for that to succeed too, knowing what you know now, right?
That's true.
So it's just so interesting from that standpoint of how you do different things and like having that like step back a year later, this is where we are. I'm super happy with all the things, right? Like all the little things that we've done that are adding up. And I feel like today it's starting to like, you watch the system and it's like, oh, we got a lead from this funnel. We got a lead from that funnel. We got a lead from over here. We got a lead from over here. We had a wrap on a truck and we got a lead off of that and we double-sided the sale this week. So it's like, okay, that's paid for. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's all the things like I always talk about, like you talk about it and I talk about stacking. I finally feel like we're to the stacking phase where it was like a grind, right? Like we just fought like, oh, we got a customer through Facebook marketing and it cost $1 bajillion. And then, oh, we got a YouTube lead or, oh, we got a lead from a wrap or, and it's like onesie twosies. And now all of a sudden it's just starting to really just this plus this plus this plus this, instead of addition, it's multiplication. And now it's starting to flow in.
Yeah. The systems are working. One other thing I really like about the last few months that we've been talking to our agents about is we actually have a board in the office and it's got 5 different things on it. It has outbound, it has prospect, lead, signed agency, and then contracts. Well, I guess 6 because it has closings as well. And I think in business in general, we spend so much time looking at signed contracts and closings. And that's like all we focus on. And if we don't have many closings, then we're stressed out. If we have a ton, we feel like we can let off the gas.
I've watched, and you came up with the board setup, but it's like I watch these agents, and I've always told them, like, what I'm here to do, I'm not an agent. Clearly not an agent. But what I am here to do and I'm good at is when I see these peaks of high success and then it's followed or has a low behind it, what I'm trying to do is take out the peak and take out the low and like, what's that average? And if we can keep bouncing people in those guardrails, and I mean, what would you rather have? 3 months of great closings a year to equal 100,000 or 2 closings a month to equal 100,000 where it's nice and steady and you can plan and you're not freaking out and so that's what we're trying to do. And it's like, these guys will stare at the board and, they've got 3 signed contracts or 8 signed contracts and they're trying to get every one of them across the finish line. And it's like, it's not going to happen. Like it can't, like it's not, it won't. So they get so dialed into that. It's like, look, when you stop focusing on the inbound, you got to start spending time on both sides of the coin.
Well, what I love about that is you're right. When we were focused on closings and contracts, and that's our whole focus, we didn't realize, or it wasn't clear, that the 4 columns before that is what truly brings those. If you don't focus on outbound and on prospects, on leads, then your result is going to be pretty rough.
Pretty abysmal.
And so what we like to do is we talk a lot less about the closings and the contracts and a lot more about outbound, 2-way conversations and your prospects. And so
I graduated from Alabama and I started the year after Nick Saban got there. Don't do the math. But he's all systems and processes. And if you do the game and you if you practice this hard and you train this hard and you focus this hard and you study this hard, at the end of the day, you win national championships. And it's no different in business. If you craft your skills with talking to people. You go look for new people to talk to. You find where you should be. You do your matrices and your data. You look at your numbers, you look at your sales, you look at the profit, you look at all that stuff, and you say, wow, this category is better than that category. So then you focus on that. Like, you just keep massaging all these things down. When you do all that, the results come every time. Do they come when you want them? No. God will let them come when you need them. Yeah. But that's how it falls and that's how it flows out. And I just think working with our guys and our team this year, really getting everybody, and a lot of it's like what shoes on the right foot, right? Because it's like you kind of have an idea like, oh, we're going to have this person do this, that person do this and that. And then all of a sudden you're like, that's
not working.
So let's shuffle it up, get these guys going that path, these guys doing this path, this person doing that path, that one doing this. And all of a sudden it starts flowing. And then you start getting these like good vibes. And I think that's right where we are right now. Like I don't want to compare ourselves to other agencies and stuff, but I feel like we're doing as good as anybody. And maybe the economy's just ripping right now. I don't think it is, but I just think that we've had 3 months now of we planted seeds in the spring and summer. We've got some of that out there, and then we've really focused and really put intentionality behind that. Mm-hmm. And the guys have bought into that, and everybody's doing that. And now all of a sudden, like that fruition of everything's like coming to. And I mean, we have 6 or 7 closings on one day in December.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the cooler things to me is that we have an agent that literally just started that got his first contract within like a month, which was crazy. So, and I'm with you. I think that
2 of them.
I guess so. You're right. I think in that you're right. You are right about that. In that summertime when the industry really halted.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and it's instinctive. If it was just me without you, I probably would have felt similar. You start to you grasp whatever you've got.
Yep.
And you kind of try to force things, and you don't push to gain market share. And what we did was the opposite. Mm-hmm. We were pushing in to gain market share in any way we could.
Well, we saw what happens every time I've been through a dip in an economy. The same things happened, and it happened again this summertime.
Yeah,
and it's not the economy; it's the niche that you're in, the business that you're in. Normally, when stuff gets tight and gets hard, everybody retracts and like, okay, we got to make it through this hump. That's fine, but if you can say, look, I'm just going to eat it, and it is what it is, but we're going to go 100 miles an hour at it. Which is exactly what we did. Look, we're going to stop the Facebook ads. We're going to stop the wasteful money. Like, what are we spending monthly recurring revenue? Get rid of all that. Let's lean down. Let's make sure, our staff employees, what's the budget for that? All right, we've got that covered. Mm-hmm. What can we put towards marketing that's like real tangible stuff? Let's buy it all. We bought it all. We got it all done. First impressions here in town, did the thing. And then boom, we went and ran, and we had all this content ready to go for a couple months. Yeah. And we just buried it doing that. And that's a part of, I think, some of the win that we had. And I think every day, I think that goes back to your point of like, that's kind of like branding. Branding's really expensive, whether you buy a billboard, to me, marketing is where marketing's changed over the last few years a lot. And I don't want to get too far in the weeds with this, but like I look at branding and marketing as 2 separate things. Branding is when you spend a piss pile of money just so people know what the logo is, right? Like road.
That's the farthest circle where it's like people don't know you. Yep. You're branding just to get your name, your colors, your brand in front of them.
Somebody's not going to drive down 65 highway and see a billboard and go, "Oh, I'm going to buy a house from them." Mm-hmm. Probably not going to happen. But they see the name, and that's a checkbox, right?
It's consistency.
Oh, I saw a name, and then all of a sudden, then you see a sign out in front of somebody's house. Oh, it's the same thing. And then they go, oh, well, now I'm ready to buy a house, and I've seen this. They've called me. They've left a door hanger. They've done that. You know what I mean? Like, I've got an email from them. I saw their billboard. Like, it all compiles. And I think that's branding, and it's expensive, and it kind of sucks, right? Mm-hmm. Marketing to me is when you get a lot more like at it. And I love marketing. I love marketing on great campaigns. Can you imagine that? Right. So I've got a client that does a marketing campaign, and like, we don't spend a ton. It's like $300, $400, $500 a month on like ads. But dude, I mean, our phones blow up day after day after day after day after day after day.
Some of those service industries, I mean,
it's unbelievable. And we just crush that. It's a service industry thing. And I don't want to say who, but it's just an awesome, like, we don't pay a lot of money. And for an average ticket price of probably between $1,500 and $2,500. And I mean, it's every day a person or two messages them from those ads. And I love it. It makes me smile. But that's marketing, right? Like we have an ad, we have a landing page. We're doing outbound with that. We built the funnel system. And it's like, I know for every dollar I spend, we get X dollars back. That's marketing.
Yeah.
And we're getting into that with us, but we had to we built from the ground up, which is, dude, I mean, to build a CRM and the software and the whole thing that we've done this year, and like you said, you're the guinea pig on a lot of this stuff. Like I've done 3 or 4 different parts of this, but I've never had like the glue in the marketing company. And like I learned this year, I met a guy that helps me do a lot of the stuff on the back end. And like, I've learned now what glues it all together that's different than most marketers around.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just love it. And it's like, I never thought I'd be into like programming and building and doing this stuff, but like to be able to say, here's the business side that we do. Like, here's what I know about business. Here's what you know about the skills. Let's marry those together. And then here's the glue that holds it all together. And now I can run marketing. We can run the campaigns. We can run the social. We can run everything. And we have one like hub that it does it out of. Like to get where we are now, like, dude, it's nuts to me. Absolutely nuts.
Well, and the crazy thing that's kind of the secret sauce, in my opinion, is you have the aspect of getting people into your database.
Yep.
But what you have really built out with our systems is once they're in your database, how are you still massaging them and nurturing them to get to close in a intentional way, not a salesy way, in a truly like an authentic way. And I think that's where a lot of the shift happens. And so it's been really cool to see on that end. You see so much of it in front. And I feel like we've done a killer job of getting the brand out there throughout this first year and getting the name out there. And as people are getting into the systems, man, the next step of walking them through the system to close is the secret sauce. We don't really talk about it that much, but that's really where the magic happens, So it's been cool to see. So I feel really good about this year, man. We've hit some really cool milestones.
All right, you got your list there. Read some of your starred ones.
Man. Some of these, I mean, I'll tell you the first one. Before we even did the video equipment, we met with somebody on the brand, and this was the first stretch for me. We spent a ton of money on brand identity and on understanding exactly how we want to present ourselves. And you were like, we really need to make this investment. I'm like, we're just starting out. We have no money. But I guess we'll do it. And I think that was one of the most important things. The person that we worked with here locally, I just talked to him a few weeks ago, and I was telling him that it was a stretch for me to pull the trigger on that whole process. It's an in-depth process. It's an expensive process. And sometimes when you see the end result, you're like, man, that was a expensive way to get to that point. But it taught us so much about who we wanted to be as a business, how we wanted to represent ourselves. And it was so important to us. So that was huge. We did it. We didn't go on Fiverr. We didn't just throw something up from Canva. Like we went through the full process of building an actual brand.
So brands to me, like logos and stuff, it's like a coin flip. Like some of them matter, some of them don't, right? Like I've had businesses that we've spent 8 cents on a logo and it's super successful. It depends on, I think, what the industry is. You don't have to do that. Yeah. But we had to in our market, right? Like with this many people in real estate, you need to have, it needs to be buttoned up and looking like $1 million, right? Like I knew that coming in. Like it wasn't a choice. It was like, hey, we ought to do this. And no, it was one of those to me that it was like, we have to, it's not a should, it's a have to in this industry, in this specific situation. But like you said, we got a brand package, we got a font, we got the scripts, we've got the colors, we've got the
auxiliary materials for the webs, all the things.
And it was such a great when you spend the money and you do it right,
and truly going through the process, like this is going to help us be a filter to how we want to present ourselves. I mean, it was great. Yeah. I'm with you. Keep
on going because we can talk about that's four podcasts.
Yeah, we might have to have him in. That would be a really fun conversation. We built out our vision values. I think these are some of those intangibles. Once again, as part of that process, though, of really understanding from the beginning, like we have a vision for where this is going. Does it shift markets change, everything happens. Yes. But we understood from the beginning, here's why we're doing this. Here's what we're doing. Here's the how that we're going to do it. The how has shifted because we've learned and we've grown in different areas. But having those to be our North Star has been huge for us. I put our office space on here. It's a great space that we're utilizing. Just a big win for us there. When it comes to our agents, like within the first year, bringing on 7 agents has been a pretty cool endeavor, and truly bringing on agents that are gonna put the effort in and make sure that they're great agents. We've had conversations with
lots.
Yeah, we didn't quite bring on everybody that we could have. It wasn't about trying to get to a certain number. It was like really bringing on the right people for the role. So that's been a big win for us. The original, the OG Elevate CRM is what I put on here. After we kind of went through a few different systems to see what worked, and we were seeing holes that we can make sure that we can excel in, and we started building our own. We kind of built this base of what we had just to get the ball started. And we learned a lot through that. But that was a huge win for us, and it's even bigger now, for sure. Hiring our guy, Parker. I'm not going to say
that was my number one on there, yeah.
I got it hard. I got it started and hearted.
Oh, a heart. He put hearts by it.
That was a huge part of what we've done. I put all the video equipment. That's a big investment.
How crazy did you think I was when we went into that? 1 through 10.
10, 11.
Dude, he about passed out when we saw the price.
I looked at that number. I thought, wow.
Can't we buy like a GoPro?
Yeah, for real. But yeah, that's a huge thing. Parker's been huge just in how we are not only utilizing the equipment, but it's put our flair on how we're branding our houses and marketing, and it's had a really big effect in us in how we're doing things. We had listing goals that we hit for sure. I put Founders Table on here. That's a win. We got the company truck, wrapped it. Yep. We've wrapped multiple vehicles for our agents. That's been really cool.
And I'm a big, if your industry can use it and you're driving around and like promotions there, I love wraps. They're expensive and it sucks. They're, $3, $4, $5, $6 depends on what the vehicle is. But dude, you look mega pro.
And you don't have to tell somebody who you are when you pull up.
if you design it right. Yeah, if you design it right, they know who you are and why you're there beforehand. And like we joked with Sell Fast.
Well, we had to because we were pulling up to houses that were kind of sketchy.
We were afraid we were going to get shot. Yeah. So, yeah. But I am a huge just marketing overall proponent of wraps. I think it's, even you had somebody or was it Wyatt or both of you, I think. Somebody in your neighborhood came up to you and be like, oh, I didn't know you're a realtor. Was that Wyatt that said that?
Me. Yeah.
Wyatt said that too to me.
Goodness. Yeah, we need to do a better job in our neighborhoods.
I know, right? Gosh, man.
My neighborhood knows now. But yeah, so those have been huge wins. We did a partnership with Parade of Homes with the HBA. We invested a lot into that, and I think that it was a really cool win on that end.
My throat still hurts from talking.
That was a long day. A lot of the milestones for Rise, which we haven't really talked about, but when it comes to the clients that you brought on,
I made a logo for the company this year.
Hey, that's pretty good to have for a marketing company. But it was one
of those 5-cent logos. And I did it myself. And then I sent it to Parker, and he's like, you're an idiot. I don't really promote art.
I've got some of the intangibles, brand exposure, getting the brand out there in a way that I think has been as quickly as you can, with a small business. It's been really cool. And trademarking in order to make sure that we're legit on all fronts there. We had a gross income goal I had in here that we hit. But I would say truly at the end of the day, the team aspect, the team of people that we have around us, I know that I've talked to clients that have worked with different agents, and I've worked with clients for years, and when they came into our system, they needed to buy a house. We connected them with a solid agent on the team so that they could have full support specifically with that agent, and it was a perfect fit. And I think the cool thing has been we've been able to find agents that can fit really well, and when we have a client come in, we can tell this is going to be the perfect match for this client. And they're going to
serve that's juice. I mean, if you want to say secret sauce, I think that's juice for Elevate. Is when we have somebody come in, it doesn't take long to read people. Like we've all been around the block from that standpoint. Yeah. But you're a Wyatt client. You're a Elijah client. Stefan, you've got this one. Like, you could just feel it and tell. And the fact that, you're getting all of us with it, like, and that's why we did it,
Yeah, we are all working for our clients, and it's cool. You have a team of agents. Mm-hmm. You have a marketing team behind you for every step. So that's been a cool thing for sure. Mm-hmm. So, clients that I've worked with for plenty of years, they came in, they connected with Elijah, and before they put an offer on the house, I went over and looked at the house, made sure everything looked good. We worked through inspections together, but they can have a team of people so they can have max availability. So It's been cool. But yeah. Anything that you've got on top of that?
I don't know. I mean, there's a million things, and I know, we're kind of rambling, but I think this is a true testament. If you do A plus B equals C in business, this is what happens. And
sometimes A or B is not quite comfortable, but it's the fact that it's just the equation. You just got to do it.
You got to do it.
Even when it's not comfortable.
Yep. And I think compartmentalizing the stresses, I think you've learned a lot in that this year.
Yeah. Big time.
Just keeping stuff in check. I think gratitude for me has been a year of gratitude in my world. And I think that's been really good for me. Man, what a year. Like, it's probably been, I would say this has been my funnest career year of my life.
Wow.
With everything going on. Like, it's like God's changed how I am from the inside out, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And like, just to have the movement and have the stuff going that it is, it's been super fun.
I'll say one more thing because we're pretty late here, but I think one of the coolest things for me with this business has been that our families haven't had to take a hit.
Yeah.
Like, when you launch a business, and I talk to my wife a lot about it, you obviously have built business plenty. And it's like, there's always seasons, and there's a season where it's going to be a lot of work. There's a season you're putting in a ton of time. Mm-hmm. But I think that you and I, from the beginning, we said for our agents, for ourselves, we've got to make sure that we have boundaries in place to where we are with our families as well. And so, and that's really part of the team structure and the availability side. It's like, how can we serve all of our clients to the best of our ability while also not sacrificing.
Yeah. Well, if we were doing this for max profit, would you do what we've done? Probably not. No, you know what I mean? Yeah. But we're not doing it for max profit. We're doing it for max impact, right? Exactly. Like, and that's what I love about it is we're trying to impact as many people as we can, and the money will come. It always does.
Absolutely. So, man. Very good. Well, thank you for listening. This was kind of an insight into who we are. We are all about sharing the wins and the losses for us. If you ever want to have a conversation and be like, hey, just walk me through how you built what you've done. What were some of the things you wish you would have done differently? Mm-hmm. Man, we'll tell you plenty of failures. But we also feel like we've stacked some wins. And so it's been a good deal. So any business that would like to have a conversation, we'd love to have a conversation with you.
Reach out.
We love it. Thanks for listening today. Have a great one.